What is going on, everybody? We're back with episode 5 of the Pound and Slash Marvel Media Podcast.
Man. Back at it, man.
Now, straight out the gate, as always, we want to let you guys know that, first off, there will be spoilers.
Lots of them. Lots of spoilers.
For a lot of, well, probably mostly just Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 5.
Yeah, just for, that episode, yep.
We may talk about other things as well at some point. And then there will be foul language, so be ready for that.
I really do try to, unless I'm really pissed.
He says he tries, but if you actually watch the episodes, he cusses not as much as I.
Right.
So, viewer discretion is advised. Also, this is a very special episode. Why is this a special episode, you say? Because you guys are going to hear noises come from other places. My kids are here, and you'll probably hear them at some point. Anyways, so with this episode of the podcast, the question that we are going to answer starting off is, who is your favorite Marvel superhero and why? Mm-hmm. And I will go ahead and start this off. I'm wearing the hoodie. My favorite Marvel superhero all time, Spider-Man. The reason being, so growing up, my first introduction to Marvel, I believe, was Spider-Man, and it was the 90s Fox Spider-Man animated series. Mm-hmm. And give me 1 second. Anyways, the reason why he is my favorite hero of all time is, and if there was a weird cut there, I had to pause it to yell at the kids. Reason he is my favorite superhero is growing up, again, 90s animated series was my introduction to Marvel superheroes, period.
Right.
He was honestly an extremely relatable superhero for me. In terms of, he was a superhero that had everyday problems, had issues with girlfriends, got picked on at school.
Oh, yeah.
Overcame all those things, became a superhero. Depending on the movie, still found love. Even if he kills her in the comics.
Right.
Or completely makes her forget about it. Whatever. But yeah, so Spider-Man, to me, like I said, extremely relatable. And what's funny is I have a 100% absolute fear of spiders.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
And yet Spider-Man is my favorite
character.
Now, what's also funny is if you go DC, now while I'm not afraid of them, I don't really like bats. But Batman's still my favorite hero there. So I don't know.
Well,
some bats are adorable, though.
Yeah, they are. Bats are cool. They're all right.
So you get bit by them, then you need to get a rabies shot.
Yeah, you gotta shoot them. No, I'm just kidding. Don't shoot them.
Who is your favorite superhero, Ralphus?
Anyway, well, the same. It really is. No, for real, the same. Well, the first thing, literally was, Spider-Man 1. So, it literally was that. When I first saw that...
Sam Raimi?
Sam Raimi. When I saw that Sam Raimi, I was like, oh, look at that. Because I didn't know what I was looking at. Because I'm he looked like he was, the little guy. The first thing, you saw, he was taking pictures and he's getting picked on and all that. Then it's slowly progression into being what he is. And, even Uncle Ben, great power, I love that title. Great power comes great responsibility.
Which is what I feel the MCU is missing.
Solid, for real. That is literally from point A to point B. This is why I like it. You started with the 90s. I started literally with Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is the difference between the age. I am about probably 10 years older than Ralph, so.
That's funny. that's funny, bro. He's like, yeah, that's the difference in age. I'm like, yeah, he started in the 90s. I'm like, well, I started in 2003. Yeah, that's literally the first time I saw Sam Raimi Spider-Man. And then, it just progressed from there. I didn't even look at the comics. You say, you looked at the comics. Did you ever watch the other comics?
I actually have.
Okay, yep, that was...
I have... I want to say I think it's currently 2 volumes of the omnibus series that they're putting out.
Okay.
I think I might have 3. I'm not 100% sure. But they each one covers 10 to 15 issues of the comic, starting with 1 and moving its way through, as well as special comics that he appeared in.
Now, as far as my alteration of Spider-Man, it would be the one where he had the black suit, like in the animated series. Like I love that actually I love.
You're talking about the Venom, the symbiote suit.
The symbiote suit.
You got to be a little specific.
Not Miles Morales. Yeah, I should have been.
Well, Miles Morales has the black and red suit.
Black and red suit.
And then Peter Parker also, especially in the MCU, has
the black suit from the MCU. My bad. Yeah, the one in the animated series where he got hit by the little symbiote, and then it was one of those little lines between saving and killing, and it's like he was getting mad. He got mad even at Doc Connors a little bit. I was like, yo, this was interesting from that, but overall, yeah, it was definitely Spider-Man.
All right. And with that, it's time for the news. So, every week we talk about the past week's news, and a little bit of a side thing. I have been working on music and stuff this week, so I did not get to nail the news every single day. So I'm sure there's stuff missing. I do feel like I was able to get enough news to matter. So we're going to go ahead and start.
Can you pause for a minute?
Sure.
Oh, God. Let's edit that out.
Oh, we're not editing that out. I did pause it. So, guys, I'm keeping the camera on from now on because if he dies, I want proof that it was not me.
Oh, he's joking.
Now... As I was saying, it was covering a lot of music and doing a lot of music, doing a lot of reactions and stuff, so I didn't get all the news. But we'll go ahead and jump into this. This actually should have been down in the Falcon specific news, but hey, we'll go ahead and keep it here. Sebastian Stan revealed in an interview that Kevin Feige will not direct anything in the MCU because he feels there are better filmmakers out there to do it.
Huh. That's interesting, because I would like to really see Kevin Feige
To be honest, I don't know. Because I feel like Kevin Feige's doing just a perfectly good job
he's like
directing the whole
thing. Well, he's like a producer for all of it, though. But okay. I mean, in a way, he is kind of directing it, but he's like, little sprinkles here and there. But he lets the own director do like their own thing, though. So,
right.
Okay. Oh, okay. She-Hulk begins filming in Atlanta, which is really interesting.
Fun fact, Ralph cannot help but say in Atlanta because he was unaware that everything...
I didn't know everything was filmed in
Marvel
Atlanta.
films is in Georgia.
I didn't know that. I mean, I thought a few more movies were, but all of it?
I mean, they do spread out.
Yeah, they spread out.
To, world locations here and there. But for the most part, most of their recording is done in Atlanta. That's where their little movie setup is.
Mm-hmm. No, man.
That's where Walking Dead's filmed too.
Yes, okay, yeah, yes it is. Okay.
All right, Pakistani actors Alay Khan and Samina Ahmed have been added to the cast of Ms. Marvel. Now, here's my thing. I don't know who these actors are. It was obviously big enough news for them to list it. I mean, regardless, I'm excited for the Ms. Marvel series.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Because I think Kamala Khan's an interesting character. My only experience with Kamala Khan is in the Avengers video game.
I saw her in the series, the Avengers Assemble series that came on Disney XD.
I haven't seen that yet.
Right.
But yeah, so Marvel's Avengers, which was a game that came out last year that bombed. I absolutely loved it. I understand why people didn't. Cool. Yeah. But she was a pretty cool little character. Like,
I mean, yeah, she was able to stretch her arm and big, and like that's what she normally would say. So yeah.
So I'm definitely interested to see what all they do, and it was nice to actually see they actually reached out and got some actual, Pakistani actors and actresses to play in it.
Like Miss Marvel isn't.
I don't remember. Okay. I do know she's foreign. I just don't remember. Okay, I think she's an Indian.
Okay. I mean like that.
Pakistani, one of the two.
Okay.
Not 100% sure. This is my favorite bit of news. This is I found it absolutely hilarious. Go ahead, Ralph.
Oh man. Okay, here we go. Ryan Reynolds does not want to work with ex-wife Scarlett Johansson in MCU Marvel because they don't want to cross paths with each other, which that is a bummer.
Okay, I don't know if it's necessarily they don't want to cross paths with each other.
All right.
He doesn't want to cross paths with her.
Right.
Now, here's what makes this all funny for me. First, I completely forgot he was ever married to Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, you brought that to me. I said, really?
He's been with Blake Lively for so long now that I just imagine like that's the perfect Hollywood couple to me.
I wouldn't think that Blake Lively or anybody would care if they were if they would care. I mean, in the movie.
But I'm also wondering how much of this isn't Blake asking for it.
Do you think it could be Ryan Reynolds asking for it?
Really? I wonder how much of this is Blake asking for it.
Keep that in, aren't you?
I'll make fun of you later. So
yes, that's keep it.
But yeah, so I'm wondering how much of it is her like being, hey, I don't want you working with her, because here's the thing, I'm not big into celebrity couples and looking into their lives and things, but I don't necessarily remember their relationship ending on a very bad note.
Right, like it was like a violent note, and like you said, they all went like mutual. Like, you go this way, I go that way, okay, bye.
Plus, I think it'd be funny, I was telling Ralph this, I think it'd be funny to have a scene at some point where Black Widow's driving with Deadpool in the car and them two bickering, because it would give Deadpool a chance to break the fourth wall.
Oh, definitely. In
a very goofy way, and then Scarlett Johansson looking confused as hell. Now, but at the same time, I mean, she's dead. Yeah.
I will say that. You can say that. We can say that right now.
She's dead.
She might come back. We never know.
No. She's being replaced with a new Black Widow.
Oh, okay. Just go that route.
She's not the only Black Widow.
I know she's no Black Widow. But I'm saying, but when is Scarlett Johansson comes back?
She's dead, Ralph.
They can bring dead people back.
They need to stop. Gamora should be dead too.
He said they need to stop. Marvel, stop doing this.
In an interesting twist of news, which this one baffled me.
Right.
Fans are petitioning now.
Yeah.
To have T'Challa recast.
Because at first they weren't, and now they are. Yeah.
At first, everyone was 100% against it. You cannot.
Like, how dare you
recast T'Challa?
And now they're saying, yeah.
And now fans are like, yo, can we get a recast? Like, no, guys. In my opinion,
we really should.
One, for respect to Chadwick.
Bosewick, yeah.
Or Chad Bosewick. I called him Chadwick. My bad. In respect to him,
we really shouldn't. Yeah.
I think they should let the character go.
Yeah, they should, for real.
And just give it to Shuri.
Yeah, I don't know why they won't do that.
She is the Black Panther in the comics.
Yeah, now yeah. So it would make more sense. But they're like, yo, we need to get a whole new... Why are we doing this? This is the stuff we're talking about here.
It's still 100% interesting. I'm very curious on what they'll do with the Wakanda series.
The fans are crazy, man. They're like,
dude,
yo, get
fans
this.
They're
like, yo, we want that. Like, I thought y'all said y'all didn't want a Black Panther. It's like sacrilegious or something if we just recast them with somebody else. Oh, Lord.
People baffle me. Go ahead with the next one.
Oh, yeah. And this is some interesting / fun news, I guess. Wolverine Anthology show is starting with the Weapon X arc. It will be in the Disney Plus future. So... what do you think about that, though? I mean, to ask you about, like, what do you think about them having the Weapon X anthology for it?
So here's, from what I was reading, what they're planning on doing. It's not a Weapon X anthology.
Oh,
they're planning on doing a Wolverine anthology, period. Right. And they're starting with the Weapon X arc.
Oh, okay.
This is just rumored right now. This has not been confirmed. It's not guaranteed.
Right.
Which you'll find... we'll touch on that here in a minute. As soon as we go into the next bit of news.
No, I got you.
Because they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, I got you.
But yes, it is rumored that there is going to be a Wolverine anthology show.
I mean, it'd be cool.
Right.
It'd be cool.
So with that, we are now moving into the Cap, the Hela, and the MODOCK. Again, for those of you that are new here, the Cap, the Hela, and the MODOCK is our version of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because Cap is good, Hela is bad, and MODOCK is just straight up fucking ugly. All right. The Cap, which was the good news, leaks are also claiming Wolverine is rumored to start showing up in movies and TV shows here soon.
Right.
So Wolverine's going to kind of get the Spider-Man treatment.
Right. Just like a slow...
He's going to get slowly mixed into it.
I would like that.
Which I'm all for.
Yeah.
Again, I am still pulling for Harry Potter to be Wolverine.
Hey, you know what? The internet will blow up if Daniel Radcliffe is... They'd be like, yo, did you see this shit? Like,
now, here's the thing. We don't know how soon. Soon to Marvel could be in 5 years.
Right. We could be dead.
I'm sure it'll be sooner than that.
Yeah, it'll be sooner.
It'll probably be sometime next year.
Yeah.
Just being
now that stuff's starting to come back up. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the reason why this ties into the other one, as far as having the Wolverine anthology show,
where would that be at? I guess it wouldn't matter.
I don't. So here's the thing. It depends on how they plan on doing it.
Right.
Because they could have their own Wolverine show that they only put like one little episode out, which say it's the Weapon X story.
Right.
And then they could move on and he'll be in a movie or two or series or something and then he could come back, do another solo episode, leave to go do movies and things.
Yeah, and they come on back.
And that would make sense to me.
That would actually be interesting. I actually like that, where it's like one episode, then go and do other things, then come back for the okay. Huh.
But yeah, I don't know exactly. I don't know how I feel about it, just because, like, I mean, obviously we all want Wolverine in there.
We want X-Men. Well, we want
everyone that can be in there
Fox
to be in there.
Yeah.
At some point.
At least some point, right?
But yeah, so that's I definitely think over and above all, obviously we're gonna be getting Wolverine here soon. He'll probably be the first X-Men.
Yeah.
That we actually get into things, and I'm excited for it, honestly.
I mean, they had a character. What was the character's name in the bar from Falcon and Winter Soldier?
My animated character for our podcast cover is Wolverine, of course.
Right.
I'm down for some Wolverine.
Was her name Sable?
Silver Sable?
Yeah. I mean the one that was in the bar, or the when they were in Mandapore. Well,
I don't remember what her name is now. It's in a different script.
Right. But she was a mutant, and I'm like, yeah. But that's pretty cool. Like, because this is like them slowly start, even though she had the name, but like I like where we're going with this. Even the whole Manipur thing, like that's the whole thing. So
right,
hopefully, but okay, the Hela. Julia Louis-Dreyfus was supposed to show up in Black Widow, but due to pushbacks, the episode was the reveal. Which I didn't really like how this happened.
So,
I mean, Julia Dreyfus is a good actor by far, but it's just
there's a reason this is in the bad.
Oh, that's bad.
This ties into some news that we had last week. So last week we had reported that like one of the writers or directors or producers or something had gone on and been like, there's a huge Marvel reveal, a new character to the MCU, and which you'll find out in more descriptive later. They showed it was her as an actress, obviously big news.
Yeah, Julia Dreyfus, yeah.
As a character, we don't know enough about her to give a fuck.
Right, we don't care. We're like, who is this woman?
So here's the problem. Do not get me wrong. I am not the be-all, know-all of Marvel. I'm not.
Because obviously there's a reason why she's here. I mean, I'm assuming.
But big news character-wise to me is if Doom shows up, Galactus shows up, an X-Men shows up, a mutant, another actual big-time mutant shows up.
To show up. Yeah.
Another major villain shows up. But you're going to give me somebody who... We'll get into that. I will 100% bitch about that later.
He's going to bitch about this. I feel like he'll bitch about this whole episode.
Not really. Not really. I feel like it was way overhyped.
Yeah, it was hyped for like since Monday. Well, like Monday? Like, yeah.
I feel like if we would have seen Black Widow before this episode, because if she's supposed to be in that movie and a big driving force in that movie, at that point, seeing her in this episode would be like, yo, this is great. And it would have been. But as of right now, it's just kind of like, who the fuck cares?
Who is this person? Because I know who this person was. You got to break it down. I'm like, I didn't know who she was.
Yeah, we'll go into all that later, guys.
But I was like, okay.
All right, and for the MODOCK, the ugly, Alfred Molina, who plays Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2, says he is going to be in the new Spider-Man movie, and his story picks up in the river where he left off. He was told by one of the people working on set that in this world, people don't really die. So...
You have one job. You have one job.
Why is this in the ugly?
What is this?
Because a lot of people would be like, yo, this is great news. Well, first off, it's news that has already been speculated on.
Right,
we all pretty much knew he was going to be in it.
We saw it in the Wikipedia.
But again, I am tired of stuff like this being ruined. Again, if you were just in the movie and these things just started to happen, the amount of excitement, especially for those of us that grew up or as young adults watched the movies, like...
Because I'm assuming he's dead. And I'm like, oh. And I mean, I'm reading this. I'm like, oh, so he's alive. Huh. That just ruins everything. What the fuck, bro? How did this happen, y'all?
And second off,
that's irritating.
You're telling me that you're not supposed to be giving big leaks away.
Right. That's
and he's just over here, I'm in this, I'm doing
this. At least wait till towards the end. Like, you wait till we get there. No, you're like, we're not, like, it's like, what, November, like, bro, or December? Like, dude.
Feige has to be pissed.
Yeah. If I was Feige, like, and you said there's something he can do because he's in the mood, but still, that's like a... Because now we're like, okay, well, you're confirmed, but now you're like, oh, you're starting off the fact where you done fell in the water and you somehow lived. I'm like, you're supposed to be dead, bro. And that actually, it's kind of irritating. So now when I go to movies, I'm going to be kind of out of it. Just a little bit. I'm going to still go, but I'm going to be like...
I'm still going to be excited
but everybody's going to be like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, he talked about this a whole 5 or 6 months ago. So, yeah, of course.
And then we have one bit of Falcon and Winter Soldier specific news. If you would like to go ahead and read that, Ross.
Oh, yeah. Sebastian Stan was not approached for a second season for Falcon and Winter Soldier, so they weren't approached with... Oh, wow. Okay.
No. As of right now, there will not be a second season. But Sebastian Stan has gone on to say whatever Kevin Feige wants, he's there.
Yeah, because they could do... They do second season for WandaVision. They can do second season for any of these Disney Plus series, actually. So
I don't think we're going to get second seasons for almost any of them.
Well, what do you think of that?
How are you going to do another WandaVision?
Okay. Touche. All right. You're right.
These series are definitely just one-off specific series to lead to the next part of the story. I'm not saying they won't be in other series down the road.
Right.
I don't think there's going to be...
ever, like, come back
there's not going to be just a WandaVision because that would imply she'd have to go through another mental breakdown and then do all this shit again.
That's what I'm thinking. It's going to be like another mental breakdown?
But I don't see that happening. And then there's not going to be another just Falcon and Winter Soldier. They might have another thing that they do. Well, okay, Falcon and Winter Soldier is actually probably one of the very few out of all of them that could get a season 2 at some point.
Yeah, because you can like literally expand that in a way to other things. So, yeah.
But these are just bridges to tell stories leading into more movies and series.
Really, this is like
expansion.
one big story. One big story, actually, yeah.
And that does it for the news. And now for the bread and butter, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be the episode breakdown for Season 1, Episode 5 of Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's called The Truth, or actually it's just called Truth, which is an interesting title, which we were talking about at the end of this. So, starting off, Scene 1, we open with John running through a warehouse field, kind of?
Yeah. Which I thought that was going to be a flashback.
And it's abandoned. Yeah, so I had made the prediction we were going to start off with a flashback, and that did not happen. I was wrong.
Right.
It does happen.
I thought, it looked like, I swear, like how it was like panning in, but then it panned out. It wasn't. Damn. Like, that was a waste of potential on that, because I was waiting for it.
And he's kind of paranoid. Like,
yeah, he is paranoid.
He's obviously running from the scene of the crime at the end of the last episode, and a lot of people are speculating he was just running from Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is possible.
Both of them could have been right, because really he was just running. Like, he's just running. Like, he's just broke.
And as he's running, you start seeing flashes of Battlestar dying.
At least you do get some sort of flashback. Would you get that?
You see flashes of Battlestar telling him things. He's starting to hear Battlestar's voice in his head, saying things like, "You always make the right decisions in battle." Just basically quotes from earlier on in the series.
And overall, he's like huffing and puffing. Like he's having like a moment, like he's having an episode breakdown, like a legit breakdown. Oh God!
And it also shows flashes of him killing the flag smasher that he did at the end of the last episode.
Which you said that was the most fucked up one ever because he got killed by his own hero. So yeah,
right. And I think he comes to this realization that he knows he fucked up.
Yeah.
But then there's like a snap in his head.
Yeah, he's like, oh, okay.
And at this point, Sam and Bucky walk up, and he's knelt down on the ground with his head over the shield.
Yeah. Which that's a cool ass pose right there.
Right.
If I was an artist, I would draw that.
And you see the snap in his head.
Yep.
And he picks his head up. He doesn't even see Falcon and Winter Soldier at first. He's just like, all right, time to get back to work.
Time to get back to work. Like, what?
Which I almost wonder if this isn't stuff that's happened on the battlefield in wars and stuff where he loses somebody that's like a platoon mate or
he probably killed somebody innocent, and it's like, well, time to get back to work.
And it's like erasing it from your memory. All right, we got to get going.
Like, what is that? Like, that was kind of a freaky little thing he did right there, actually.
But Falcon and Winter Soldier show up. Sam pretty much tells him, he's like, you messed up. And at this point, I think John is believing his own lie.
Oh, he's believing. Like he's the
He's like, the guy I killed is the guy that killed.
Yeah, I killed the
Lamar.
an enemy. He's an enemy, so I killed an enemy. So I didn't kill innocent.
And he really feels like that dude was the dude that killed Lamar.
And that's twisted there too. He's like,
right.
He admitted in his brain, like, yo, this is it. Like, this is my You can't change me.
And then at that point, Sam's like, you got to give us the shield.
And he said that's what this was about.
And he's like, that's what this is about?
I was like, yo, let's go. Because what's happening? Because they were, this has been brought up since episode 3, actually. Like, yo, he was ready to do this shit.
So then they start this fight sequence.
Oh, God, here we go.
And it's an okay fight sequence.
Yeah.
So here's my problem.
I knew it. Here we go.
This is where we're gonna start.
It's like, this is it.
This is where the bitching starts.
And you see how I was bitching? Here we go. This is how I'm bitching with episode 3.
I have been waiting for 4 episodes now for an epic fight sequence.
We've been talking about this episode like 1, like
them.
this little.
Well, episode 2.
Oh, 2. My bad, yeah, 2. We were talking about this little fight was about to come out.
And we knew it was going to be a 2-on-1 fight. And all I can remember are epic moments of Cap and Bucky versus Iron Man in Civil War.
Yep.
And remembering how amazing that fight is. And then we get here. And it almost feels like, they weren't fighting as a team against him. They were kind of trying to do their own things.
Like, okay, you hit him, and then I hit him. It wasn't in unison.
Until the end.
Right.
Until the end of the fight.
Yeah. But at the beginning, they were like...
Now, again, it wasn't an absolute waste of a fight. Something cool that happened. We got to watch Cap rip Falcon's wings off.
Oh, my God. He grounded him.
I was like, that was...
I haven't seen that since Captain America Winter Soldier, where he ripped one of his wings off. He ripped them both off. Oh, my God.
He ends up fucking Bucky up enough that
I was like, Bucky,
Buck was knocked out for a minute.
Bucky was like, like a Loki moment from Injuries. Like, please get up, Bucky. Get up, bro.
And eventually he does get up, and they go through this kind of little 10-second moment where they're trying to rip the shield out of his hand. They end up breaking his arm in the process.
Yep.
Getting the shield off, and then Winter Soldier punched the shit out of him with his metal arm.
Right.
And knocked him out.
Oh, I thought it was like a combination, because I thought like he picked him up, and then it's like Falcon kind of... Or like Falcon lunged toward him, and they both just knocked him out sideways. It was like weird.
So what happened, and I left this little part up, my bad. So what had happened was they ripped the shield out.
Right. They ripped it up. Yep.
And then Falcon picks him up and like swings him.
Yeah, swings him.
And Bucky, either Falcon does it or Bucky does it.
Yeah,
one of them
but it
picks
was
him
like
up,
a weird little...
They swing him, and the other dude drop kicks him midair.
Drop kicks him. I mean, I thought that was interesting.
But then Bucky walks up and punches him in the face to knock him out completely.
Because he wasn't gonna stop. He was like, "Bro, your arm is broke." He's like, "I gotta finish that. That's mine." I'm like, "Bro."
And then
what is this?
And then Bucky walks over, he picks up the shield, looks at it for a minute, drops it right beside Sam.
Because he could have took it. He
could have.
I was waiting.
And then Sam picks it up and he starts trying to wipe the blood off of the legacy that is the shield.
Right.
Because he knows what had happened was wrong.
What type of fight was this though? I feel like it.
I almost feel like they were trying to make what I would consider to be almost a citizen's arrest, and he just was not going for it.
He wasn't complying.
So then, I guess the next scene, we'll transition into scene 2. Police are escorting the Flag Smashers from the building they were all in.
Yeah, it was like a big like a.
It was the office building from the episode before. Remember when they were walking around asking people?
Yeah. Okay, from the GRC. Okay, yeah.
From the GRC.
Yeah. Okay.
Some of the Flag Smashers were in hiding, and they were picking them up and taking them.
Yeah, they just grabbing them.
And then we see Sam and Bucky having a little conversation inside the room. At which point Torres kind of interferes. And
love him,
he walks in and he's like, "Hey, you got your sleeve back," because he ripped off his sleeve.
He ripped off his sleeve.
And Bucky just kind of looks at him like he's stupid and walks out.
And then you hear Falcon like, "You gonna go out to Zemo?" He looked at he gave him the look. He just walked away.
It's like, where the hell you think I'm going?
I like the little conversation. I'm like, this is not even really a conversation, but I love the chemistry. I'm like, this.
Right.
Perfect. Like, okay, you ain't gonna say nothing?
Right.
What the hell?
So then Sam and Torres start to have a conversation about how Cap killing is a huge international ordeal.
Yeah, they said it was big. They said higher up and everything.
Yeah, so it's
we talked about that.
The higher ups are taking jurisdiction on it.
Yeah, so the higher ups.
Torres then, like every now and again in between conversation, he'll make comments based on the wings themselves.
Yeah,
but he's like, "What happened?"
Yeah, they just kind of wondered, like, like your wings are gone. Like, what happened?
But Sam never responds directly with what happened.
I think he said like, "You want these wings?" And
that wasn't until the end.
Oh, my bad.
But because they continue their conversation, and Carly's like, well, not Carly, but they're saying like Carly's laying extra low. Yeah. She's really good at this whole hiding thing and being out of the public view. And then Sam's like, I don't know what to do, and Torres is like, sometimes you have to do nothing until it's time to do something. And Sam's like, that is strangely wise.
Yeah, because I mean, I mean,
and Torres is like, I'm a strangely wise person.
Because this is like a slow down episode. Because after that little intense moment, we gotta have a slow, bro. We gotta have a slow down episode here, y'all. Because dude, what?
At that point, Sam picks up the shield, goes to walk out, and that's where Torres is like, "Hey, what are you doing with this?" And he's like, "Keep him."
I said, well, we know where that's going.
And again, for those of you that don't know, Torres does become another version of Falcon in the comics. Yeah. Now, the version in the comics, I don't think they're going to go with because that would require some crazy CGI.
Yeah. So I think he might just be
because he almost becomes like a bird human being.
A bird human being. That's whoa.
So I think he's going to get Falcon's old stuff, and Falcon's going to get Falcon has his new stuff.
But damn, I'm gonna miss Red Wing. I'm gonna miss that because I like Red Wing.
He's still going to have.
He is. I didn't think he was gonna have one. But we'll talk about that later. I didn't think he was gonna have. Let's keep going.
So then the scene transitions.
Yep.
John's at his trial.
This was interesting.
And
holy shit,
dude, they ripped into him,
and
deservingly so.
I didn't. Yeah, okay.
Because again, going back to the last episode, if I was in John's situation, would I have done the same? Probably. Yeah. If somebody just killed my best friend, I'm probably going to lose my shit.
It was like a brother to him. Like, dude, like you've been around with this person since like your military days or day one, and you mean tell me he's gone like that? Like, yeah.
But as an icon and a representative of America,
right?
That's where it was looked down upon. Like,
right? Because you're supposed to be the happiness, the symbol of hope, but now you're like.
But one of the things we said could happen did happen. He had the shield stripped from him.
Say, strip. I didn't think they were gonna strip him for that title though of Captain America. I thought they was gonna just give him like a warning and a pass, and he's gonna still keep being Captain America. They stripped it from him.
So they were like, "You're no longer Captain America.
You're no longer Captain
You
America.
no longer work for the military.
Damn.
And you were on less than honorable discharge."
Because they should have threw his ass. I think he said court martial. Yeah, he should have been thrown in jail.
Well, they said it's only because of his past and his accomplishments.
Well, when we say he was going to get
doesn't get court martial,
a warning shot because dude, what?
And then he pointed out what we've been pointing out since the beginning of him showing up.
Right.
Is he pointed out he's like, I'm who you made me to be.
You made him.
You trained me to be this way.
Right. You trained him to be this.
I've done everything you've asked.
Terminator looking thing, like to be like, yo, everything, and they just like, we don't care. I'm like, see,
and they don't even address that. They're just like
address it. And he just kept talking. He just walked away. He just kept talking.
Like, you will hold no rank in retirement. You will receive no benefits.
All he was wah wah wah. Like, that's all.
And at that point, he's like, I am Captain America.
Right. Yeah, he said it.
And they tell him to return. They start to talk some more, and he turns around.
He did the. That was a little sex. He didn't care. Wah, 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 wah. He just like, I don't give a freak.
And then they were like, you need to return the shield.
Which I thought they knew. I guess they didn't. I thought they don't know where the shield is. I thought when I first saw it, I was like, nobody not know.
They're about to know.
Right.
So this is where you guys get to hear me going on a rant again.
Oh, we're going back to the rant. Here we go.
So he sits outside with his wife. She tells him that he needs to talk to Lamar's parents, which is true. Now the way he went about it, kind of bullshit. But, she says, you need to talk to his parents, and then all of a sudden, here comes the new character that everyone in Marvel was so excited for us to see.
To be weird, I didn't know what was happening. I was like, okay. Am I guess? So this is the new character? I didn't know what this was. I didn't know what this was at first. So
Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
I'm happy you got that one. I would have butchered that whole thing, man.
She walks up, and she tells John that she would have killed him too.
Yeah. And she sat right in the middle between them. I don't know if you saw it.
And she was sitting there having a conversation about how the shield doesn't belong to the government, but that's a gray area. Yeah. Technically, the shield belongs to Wakanda. They made it.
Yes, because it's vibranium. Yes, it is.
Yeah. But she was like, the two most important decisions of your life, besides marrying this firecracker.
Right. This firecracker one right here.
I don't remember what the first thing she said, but then the second one was answering the phone when I call.
Right. And then the wife was asking like, well, who are you? And she just like gave.
She hands her a business card. Well, she hands her a business card, and she finally has a conversation She says she'll be in touch.
Right.
And as she walks away, the wife hands the business card over to him, and he's like, it's blank. There's nothing on it.
You know what? That actually pissed me. I was like, wait.
There's probably a way to read it that we don't know.
Yeah, it's one of the mystery things. But
rant.
Here we go.
It's rant
How
time.
are you going to rant with this? Nick rant. This is what I rant in episode 3. I knew he was going to rant. I knew it. Because I asked him, he said he wasn't feeling it. Like, go ahead, bro. I'm going to drink while you do, bro.
Let me guys give you a history of who this chick was in the comics. And the only reason I know this is because I had to look it up because I had no clue who the fuck she was.
I didn't know who she was either until you said it. Oh, okay.
She was a German sleeper agent. I think it was German.
Okay.
Much like Bucky. And she eventually joined S.H.I.E.L.D. And the way she joined S.H.I.E.L.D. was she beat Nick Fury in hand-to-hand combat. And Nick Fury was impressed enough that he let her join S.H.I.E.L.D. And then they started dating.
Of course. Because why not?
And after they started dating, Nick Fury was still in contact with his ex-wife.
Right.
Which actually made Contessa, whatever the fuck her name was that I read,
that was a whole speech.
Not too happy. So she started to flirt with Steve Rogers, who, at the time, was dating Sharon Carter, which in turn made Sharon Carter and Contessa not get along.
What type of Desperate Housewives is this?
Eventually, Nick Fury confronted Steve and his girlfriend.
Right.
They worked everything out because no one really seemed to understand why things that were going on the way that they were. And after they got it all cleared up, everything was cool. Eventually, they break up. She leaves S.H.I.E.L.D. Or no, she became a part of a group with, funnily enough, Sharon Carter.
Well, of course.
And Domino.
Domino.
Because that's not a weird team.
Right, the one that's lucky. Her power is being lucky, and Sharon Carter.
They became the Femme something or another. Eventually broke up, but the funny thing is they didn't ever actually break up in comics. They just stopped doing them.
Okay.
Okay. So then she eventually joins Hydra.
Yep. Yeah, you told me that.
And becomes Madam Hydra.
Madam Hydra.
Which we've had experience with a Madam Hydra before in the MCU, before it was taken out of the MCU, because the MCU doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
Here we go.
Season 3 or 4 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep. He was like, yo, what the hell? What if she is Madam Hydra? I'd be so done.
So, she becomes Madam Hydra, steals an item from the Silver Samurai. What's his name? The Silver Samurai dude
Red
from...
Samurai something?
Silver.
No, it's Silver, okay.
But he's one of the X-Men villains.
Right.
I believe. She steals this item. And then leaves them to join another group that's like Viper or Venom or something like that. It's some sort of weird... And then that was like the last thing I read. And this whole thing, I'm reading this, and I'm like... So what you're telling me is relatively, in the comics, she's a fucking nobody.
Yeah, she's a nobody.
She is lower, for me, on the totem than John.
Dirt. Yeah.
At least John has special powers now.
At least John now is a doofus with powers now. This is a nobody. And maybe Marvel, like I said, there's a reason why she's here. It has to be a reason. And she has to.
They're gonna make her better than what she is,
right? Because she's
got to be a villain.
That whole thing you said sounded corny as hell. Oh shit!
And I'm sure they'll do impressive things. Again, we're going to have to see Black Widow before we really get an idea of what it is she's trying to do.
Right.
Because again, that was supposed to come out before this. Like, we should already know who she is. This should have been like a holy crap, she's in this now moment. But instead, it's like, holy fuck, who are you?
Oh shit! And she came in like, I am this. Here's my card. I'm like, what? I'm about to burn this card. What is this? Like, I'm about to punch you with my super strength because I don't know who you are.
All this tells me is there's a chance they're gonna bring Hydra back into things, and I'm just like,
because
let them die. Use AIM. AIM is much more interesting.
Right.
Hydra's just
because if you said she was Madam Hydra at one point, she could be a Madam Hydra again, and that's another thing. So it's making it where it's like, are we trying to bring Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in here or not? Like, what? It's really confusing on how we're doing this, man. Like, I don't understand, like, where are we going with this? So, But anyway, yeah, like that was Nick's little rant there because he didn't know I was kind of confused. I saw like just heels coming up saying, "Oh, this is the random person." I was so drawn and I wasn't like it's Julia Dreyfus. Oh my god, I don't know who. I mean, I know Julia Dreyfus. But I'm like I don't. It was one of them things like this was not spectacular. This was kind of like boring. It was kind of boring. It was just a boring.
That was letdown number 2 this episode. There'll be more.
Oh. Besides the fight was one, this was that. It got a lot of letdowns.
We're gonna keep it moving. All right, so then it transitions to the next scene, and they're showing that the GRC camp is cleaned out again, showing where they were at for a lot of the last couple episodes. And the GRC had deemed the people that were there as harboring a fugitive, so they all got arrested. Yeah,
they even got like little yellow papers and stuff, like someone like, oh, like this is now, a bad,
And then Carly starts listing off names. This is Carly and her group of personal friends and the Flag Smashers.
Right.
And she starts listing off the names of her lost friends and allies.
Yeah.
And she even says, so many people I can't keep track of them all.
She got emotional.
And then she's like, how many people have to die for us to be citizens, or how many of us have to be eliminated for us to be citizens of this planet?
Because so far she lost like what, 2?
Oh, she's lost more.
I mean, she probably lost more, but I mean like 2 that we've seen on screen. Because remember like the beginning,
3.
Yeah, 3.
3 so far.
3, okay.
So you had the dude.
I let you escape, and they just mowed him down.
They had him, her friend,
heavy cap.
No, the one that was already technically dying with tuberculosis.
Oh, okay.
What's her face? I can't remember her name right off the top of my head.
Right.
She's dead, and then her friend that was a fan of original Cap. Yeah. And that's just what we've seen.
That's what we've seen. We still don't know.
Obviously, they've probably lost more.
Right.
And this whole scene was pretty much just her being like, the movement's ready. It's time.
Plus, she lost the serum, so that's like to make any more. Like that was it of that.
So then, next scene. Now, this is something I feel they did right. Honestly, a lot of this they did right. I just, it's very underwhelming for a lot of it. Zemo and his family is at his family's grave.
Okay, so this
in Sokovia.
Yeah. Okay.
Bucky walks up, and Zemo was pretty much wondering how. Well, he didn't say it out loud that way, but he was wondering why it took so long for Bucky to finally find him. Because I don't think Zemo was necessarily hiding.
No, he was. No, I don't think he was.
Honestly, I think he just wanted to visit his family's grave. It was the first time he'd seen it since everything happened.
Yeah, I think I said that's the grave. Okay, I didn't know where he was going. To be honest, I didn't know what this was. Like I was like, oh, okay, so this is actually his family's grave, or yeah.
And Zemo tells Bucky, which I found this funny. He's like, "You should be relieved. I've decided not to kill you." Which is funny because what did I tell you last week? I was like, Zemo was probably planning on killing Bucky after all this was done.
Yeah. Well, because he was the supposedly last super soldier left. So yeah.
Aside from Carly, then.
Yeah.
And we see Bucky has a gun with him.
Oh man! So here we go.
And Zemo continues to tell him, he's like, Carly has to die. She's become the ultimate supremacist.
And he was saying this his last episode, like, "Hey, yo, are you really ready to do this?"
And he's like, are you going to do this? Are you going to be able to do what needs to be done? And that's when Bucky was like, we're going to do it our own way.
That's not what I like to hear, Bucky.
And then he holds the gun up to Zemo's head.
I was ready. I was like, here we go.
And here's the thing. Obviously, it's Disney. We know he's not going to shoot him.
I wanted it, though. I wanted it, but I know it's Disney. And I said, maybe it was Fox. Maybe. No, I'm just kidding. If it was somebody.
We know he wasn't going to shoot him, at least not on camera.
He's not on not on camera, at least.
He does pull the trigger.
Yeah, I said he pulled it.
But it's empty.
I know. Damn. Hey, yeah.
And he holds out his hand and drops a handful of bullets on the ground.
Right.
The Dora Milaje.
Yep, the Dora Milaje came in.
Walk up. Right. And they're like, we're going to take him to the raft where he will live the rest of his days.
It's like a slave, isn't it? It was like a slave. No.
The raft is the prison that all the Avengers were held at. They got captured.
Oh, shit. Okay. Wow.
Before Infinity War.
But he's still going to... I still say he's going to escape. Don't worry. He's going to find a way out. It's
the raft is a prison for supervillains.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So you'll notice also that the ship that they were using was actually the same ship. Well, the same design of ship at the end of Black Panther.
Yeah.
When they stopped in Brooklyn or wherever it was they were at to build whatever.
For apartments?
Yeah,
something like that. They were building. He said, "Oh, I like the ship." Like, yeah.
Zemo tells him that he crossed his name out of Bucky's book. He pretty much told him that he holds no grudges for what Bucky felt he had to do.
Which that's interesting. Like, that was a little take on it, I guess. He didn't. But when he said he wanted to kill him, but I guess he doesn't want to kill him anymore.
Right.
Sure. I
guess.
And
then the main chick from the Dora Milaje is like, probably don't show up in Wakanda for a while.
Oh, she did say that. Why?
She said it in her own way, but that's what it translates to. Like, don't go to Wakanda. Like, she's not saying you're banned. Just, I probably wouldn't show up for a while. They're not real happy with you right now. That's kind of how it came up.
Oh, shoot. Because I was wondering, I didn't get what, like, that was going on. So, do they still have, like...
They're not happy with how he didn't just hand over Zemo.
Shit. Okay. So, it goes back to even what Falcon said. Newsflash, they always remember shit. It's like, okay, so they're still a little bit...
Right.
Damn, really?
But, Bucky looks over and he's like, I got one more favor to ask you.
Right, gotta ask him this a favor.
And then they pan off screen.
Yeah, we don't know what that favor was.
I know what it was.
What was it?
Guys, give me a moment. I'm going to pause this so I can beat the hell out of Ralph. I'm not actually going to beat him. I do need a break, though. We'll be right back. Now that I have scolded Ralph off screen,
we're back.
In the next scene, Sam goes to visit Isaiah. It is his name, right?
Yeah, Isaiah, yeah.
I always forget if it's Isaiah or Isaac because I know Isaac was the character in the comics that was the first Black Captain America.
Right.
I don't know. Things are weird. So Sam goes to visit Isaiah, and Isaiah, he pulls out the shield. Well, actually, so when it starts, Sam's walking down the road.
Down the road, yep.
And he sees
Isaiah's
grandson, I believe.
Yeah, grandson.
And he asks where his father is. He's like, he's in the garden in the back. I'll be there in a minute. And he's like, I'm sure you will.
And what's crazy, I know where this was going. I know what this was.
I knew what this was.
Okay, because it kind of confused me. I was like, I don't know what I thought it looked like. Could have been like a setup or something. Because I was like, oh, God.
This is actually one of my favorite moments of this whole episode, by the way. So, Isaiah tells him that he doesn't want to see the shield because he was about to take the shield out.
Yeah. He says, is that it?
Like, he was like, those stars and stripes don't mean anything good to him. And Sam doesn't understand. He's like, I want to understand.
Right.
Isaiah tells him that that Sam does understand. Every black man in America understands. And Sam's like, don't do the bitter old man thing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Sam get a plus on that. He said, hey, don't do that bitter old man thing on me.
Isaiah says, if Sam ain't bitter, then you're blind. And Sam says, I don't get it. And I want to know what went wrong. So that's when Isaiah says he used to be like Sam until he came home from war to burning crosses in his yard. Sam insinuates that Isaiah could have been the next Captain America. And Isaiah's like, what? He says, blonde hair, blue eyes. Everyone was following the Great White Hope since he got the serum. And then Sam tells him Steve didn't put him in jail.
Right.
That's when Isaiah takes Sam inside. And it starts off, he has this box he puts on the table.
Right.
And he goes on to talk about how his wife died while he was in jail. And they never let her letters get to him while he was there. Then they actually told her that he was dead.
Right.
I said dead and she passed, like that's two different things. A handful of them. Look, guys, when I'm putting the little fucking outlines together.
Yeah, he types this shit. I'm like, yo, what?
I just go.
Yeah, you like.
So a handful of them were shot up. He tells them a handful of the guys were all shot up with different versions of the superhero soldier serum thing.
Right.
And he says he goes in and starts to explain that a lot of people died. And then they went on a mission, and a handful of them got captured. And he was like, the people above that said they were just going to bomb the POW camp so that they didn't get their hands on the research.
And he said those researchers were my friends.
And he was like, they weren't research, they were my friends. They were my partners, my brothers.
Right.
He said, so I broke out, and I went and saved them.
Right.
And he ends up bringing them back, and then not long after that, he was the only one left. Because everyone else died from the side effects of failed super soldier serum testing. And when they'd gotten him, they'd told him it was tetanus shots.
Yeah.
Which this is actually a play on real things that had happened in the war, where a lot of our soldiers, black soldiers specifically, were actually given syphilis.
Oh, shit.
I don't remember why. But that's the correlation there.
Oh, okay. Huh.
So he then shows a scar.
Yeah, he showed him like a little battle scar or something.
On his stomach, where I think they were doing testing.
Testing. Yeah, they said they were still testing on him. Yeah.
And he said he was like, for 30 years, he was experimented on. He said until one day a nurse wrote him off as dead. Like one of the nurses took pity on him.
Yeah.
Wrote him off as dead, sent him home, gave him the box with the letters.
Right.
And that's where he's like, you know, his wife was his whole world. Like,
yeah. Yeah, that was his whole reality. Yeah.
And Sam then goes on to say, you know, we got to tell somebody.
Yeah, like he said, we could bring you back out.
And Isaiah's like, nah, leave me dead.
He's like, leave me dead. I said, okay.
Because you pretty much tell him, like, if you say anything, they're immediately going to come for me to cover it up. He's like, they've been covering it up for 500 years, talking about how poorly black people have been treated. They said they erased his history, and then he goes on to say, like, they would never let a black man be Captain America. And he said, and no self-respecting black man would ever want to be. And then Sam, which I misspelled his name is now Same.
Same. Nice.
Sam takes a second to process the info and then leaves, and he calls his sister to tell her that he's coming home. So, I think initially Sam both agrees and disagrees with him.
Yeah, yeah.
And everything that has happened to Isaiah,
this is bad. Right.
I can understand why he feels and sees things the way he does.
Right.
And to be honest, black people have been fighting for their rights since the start of America, and still are in most cases. And I definitely, like I said, I understand Isaiah's bitterness.
Right, I can see him being bitter.
But I can also see
Sam like, what? Like, I want to be Captain America.
Well, nah, Sam doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't.
Because he feels the same way that he would never be accepted as Captain America being a black man. That's why he got rid of it in the first place, because he never felt he could live up to the expectations that, like, yeah, he feels he would never have been accepted.
All this time I was like, where the hell is Bucky?
No. This will come back to make another great moment later, which I absolutely love. So, scene 7, which is the next scene, they're on a fishing.
By the way, it was okay with the scene. I was okay with it to an extent. I was like, okay.
I was gonna say, if you guys don't know, Ralph gets nervous about race talking.
Because that's why I let him talk. I wasn't like, oh yeah, let him speak. I'm like, no, I'm just. You already know how I felt about the last episode. I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Right.
Now I'm.
See, he does cuss just as much as me. Ralph, close that door for me.
Oh, shit.
You got super bright. I don't know why it was open in the first place and why it wasn't closed again. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
We could not see you.
Yeah. I was blinded by the light. Blinded by the light.
I just realized it.
But yeah, I get it. I get it, but it's like, I don't. Oh God, never mind. Okay.
Oh, there's more that comes in all this. There's a lot of you'll see.
Next scene, because I'm like,
so, next scene on the fishing boat with his nephews and sister, and they're trying to fix the netting of the boat.
Yep.
And Sam's like, he wants to be able to take the boat out before they sell it. Right. They tell him that mom tried to sell it, it fell through.
Right.
And then Sam asked her, he's like, why didn't you tell her? Like, why didn't she tell him?
Right.
And she said that she didn't want to while he was sad because he'd just gotten back from the whole conversation with Isaiah. And Sam is still trying to figure out what everything with Isaiah means, like, because he's conflicted.
Right.
Because I think he fully understands being a black man who's had wrongdoings done to him, especially in the series already.
Right.
But then also remembering what Steve was like, and Steve,
right,
not racist, not even one bit.
Right, and that's why I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted by it. I'm like, damn, like Steve was never near racist like this. But I get where Isaiah's coming from. I'm like, Steve was awesome.
Right.
Steve Rogers was awesome. I'm sorry.
Steve was a superhero created to fight against racist people. I mean, he was punching Hitler out.
Right.
I think they said it was like 2 months before the war even started.
He's like, I'm gonna punch Hitler. I'm like, okay, there it is.
Right.
Shit, man.
So I forgot where I was at.
No, yeah, go ahead.
So Sam has said he's going to fix the boat, and then asks her, long story short, asks her, hey, do all those people still owe our family
favors?
Favors.
I mean, yeah.
From all the times where mom and dad helped him? And she was like, yeah.
Yeah, they still do.
So he starts calling them in.
The whole montage like, hey, you got a favor? Yeah, you know my mom or dad? Like, yeah.
What up, Mr. Falcon?
Yeah, what up, Mr. Falcon? Yeah, you stood at that. I'm like, and it worked. I'm like, oh my God, it worked. Oh my God.
So they get this whole group of people to start
up.
helping with things, dropping things off, working on the boat. And then there's something on the boat that looks extremely heavy. And he's like, how are we ever going to move this? And all of a sudden it just lifts up and moves. And there's Bucky.
Oh, there's Bucky.
I cheered at this moment.
Yeah,
by the way. I was like, yeah!
Back, we're having this buddy moment. Let's go.
So then Sam walks over because he's like, huh?
Right.
Like he has this look of like,
Oh,
what the fuck are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
As Sam walks over, Bucky drops off the box. You know, the favor that he called in for. As a matter of fact, his exact words were, I called in a favor from the Wakandans. And you still didn't know what that favor was, Route? Yeah, we scolded him.
And I saw it twice. I saw this twice.
Jokingly scolded him, guys. We're dicks. We're not that big of dicks, though.
Oh, man.
So...
That's funny as hell.
A pipe ends up blowing.
Yep.
And Sam goes over to try to fix it, but he can't get it. And then Bucky walks over and does it. And he's like, you got to move it this way.
Right.
And he fixes it. At which point, Sam asks why he didn't use the metal arm. Yeah. And he's like, honestly, I'm right-handed.
I'm a righty.
And I don't always think of it initially.
Right.
Which
some people don't.
Is showing like he doesn't necessarily always initially think with the robotic side of his thoughts.
Right.
He's still very much human, which I don't know why people think he's like an android or something.
Yeah, I don't know why people...
He's only got a metal arm, y'all. Like,
right. Yeah, the rest of this is all human. Like, he just got a metal arm. That's it.
And then Bucky's like, hey, you need help?
Right.
And Sam's like, yeah.
Buddy montage.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet.
Before it goes into that, Bucky introduces himself to Sarah.
Well, she stared at him first.
They smile at each other.
He said, hi, I'm Bucky. and Falcon stops mid-pause. Like, what happened?
And then he walks off to do boat repair montage.
Yeah.
Which, okay, so it's just a bunch of things where they're fixing the boat. There's one part where, like, Sam's trying to move something and Bucky walks over and rips it off.
Rips it off. He was off the metal arm that time. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. There's like little moments where like Bucky's sitting there playing with this little, it's like a putty knife. And he's like using it as like a knife and twirling it around and things, just being goofy.
Yeah, just being himself.
Pretty much.
I feel like they're just being themselves throughout that whole scene. It's like, you be you, man. Don't,
But yeah, they work together to fix the boat.
Yeah, no,
as much as they can, anyways.
Right, at least they tried.
It kind of ends with Bucky saying, Zemo said there's only one way to do this. And then he says, and Sam doesn't respond to this. Yeah. They just kind of keep doing a couple more things. And then Bucky's like, all right, I got to bounce. Got to go catch a flight, hit a hotel room. And Sam's like, no. You can stay here. He's like, the people in this neighborhood are very welcoming. They're, he goes on this thing, and Bucky's even like, all right, I get it. They're nice people.
Nice people. Right.
He says, but don't flirt with my sister, or I'll have Carlos cut you up and feed you to the fishes.
He says, okay. But I'm like, wait a minute. She looked at him first, bro. That's that bullshit.
And then, as Bucky walks off, Sam's just staring at this box.
Yeah.
By the way, the moment I seen the box, I knew what was in the box.
Yeah.
We all should know what's in the box.
What's in the box? I'm just kidding.
Okay, this is going to come to another frustrating moment that I will bitch about later.
This is another frustrating moment for him.
All right. So then it transitions to, honestly, the scene that pissed me off the most in this movie.
Yes.
And that's John talking to Lamar's family.
Yeah. I was okay with it, but I knew it was some bullshit.
No, I wasn't pissed off that it was there. I was pissed off because it's all bullshit.
Yeah, I knew it was bullshit.
John...
I knew it was bullshit, though.
Is an absolute twat. So he tells them that the guy he killed was the guy that killed Lamar.
Yeah, he started with that.
Which he still believes, or is really trying to lie to everyone, or maybe even trying to convince himself.
Right, like, no, it was him. He was the guy that did it. I'm like, what?
And it's like, no.
No.
And then Lamar's mom's all like, he absolutely adored you.
Right.
He was so proud to be Captain America's partner and so happy for you when you got that.
He was just like unfazed by none of this shit. He didn't care.
And by the end of it, he was like, I'm sorry for your loss if you ever need anything.
And the sister knew, like...
And, she knew he was fucking full of it.
Bullshit. That's what I said. Like if anything, this was kind of, stupid. I mean,
she don't say anything.
Yeah, she got that...
But she's got that look like, nah, like, you're full of shit.
Yeah, like, nah. We can see past whatever the fuck this was.
And then he leaves, and as he's walking down the street, he sees one of the Cap is Back posters that are up on the wall, and he stares at it for like 10 seconds.
He believes he is Captain America still. That's what's still bugging me. Like, oh.
And then, was that all you had?
Yes,
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
And then we transition to another very short scene where Sharon Carter is talking to Batroc.
Batroc. Yeah, they keep using him. They keep using him a lot.
And she's like, I got a job for you, and it'll pay double. And then he starts going off, and she's like, are you done?
I didn't know. He's like, are you done now? All right.
Now, when I first watched the episode, I didn't know this is who he was talking to.
Yeah.
But when we were talking is when I thought about it. I was like, maybe that's who she was talking to, and then it was confirmed. Apparently, if you have the subtitles on, it actually says it's Batroc or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
Batroc.
Oh, that's cool. So that was literally okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Next scene, transitions. Bucky wakes up to the boys playing with the shield, acting like Captain America.
Yeah, they said, I'm gonna hit you that, and then they put up like awkward. They didn't even zip it up. They said, put it back, and they just left it there. I'm like, oh, okay.
Did they see he was awake?
Yeah, he thought he was awake
because he was like, "Hey, boys."
All right.
And I think they thought they were in trouble, but he's like waving and smiling.
Right, he's really waving. I think he has that face, man.
Well, no, because to be honest, like it's got to be great to see kids still having faith
in the Shield,
in Captain America, and in the Shield, right. Even with John being an absolute twat and trying to ruin it.
Right. Because really, the Shield does mean something. Damn.
Right.
It means something. Shit.
Bucky then looks at the Shield, and I think this is the moment where if it was a book, you would read that he's having thoughts about the conversation him and Steve had, right. Which he touches on later, which we didn't know this conversation existed until this episode. Mm-mm. But him and Steve had even had a conversation about not really understanding what it will mean to actually have a black Captain America. So they had actually had a conversation. Bucky knew going into all this that Sam was going to end up with the Shield. Right. So I thought that was really cool. And he never questioned it. It wasn't like he was jealous of it.
Right. That's what I said. Like you said before, if anybody that's going to get everything, it would be Bucky. Because this whole time, like, why'd you give up the Shield? Like, you don't believe in me. Like saying you give the Shield is like saying that, Steve Rogers gave up on me because he brought me back out of a dark situation. So that's right. Really the whole point. Leading it's like a build up. That's why I like when Marvel does that sometimes. Like that build up is perfect. So, but yeah.
Bucky returns to the boat.
Yep.
Goes down and helps Sam with some more inside the boat stuff. And then it kind of transitions into them sitting on the deck looking at this water pump. Sarah walks up and pretty much scolds him. She's like, I told y'all not to work on the water pump. It's not the water pump. She's like, I don't go...
Well, they said they tried to build a boat. Like, this is not the...
She looked at Sam and she's like, look, I didn't go up to the skies.
And tell you how to do your job.
Tell you how to barrel roll. Don't come down here and try and fix things you know nothing about.
They immediately get up to this. Get up.
She's like,
bounce. And then they're like, oh, okay. Like, oh. And they literally got up.
Bucky smiles at her.
Yeah, they did. I caught that smile.
And then they walk off.
They are
budding romance.
Bucky is funny. Bucky has been funny, bro, throughout this episode.
And this is where we have another one of my favorite scenes, and it is Sam and Bucky. So the first thing you see is the Shield sticking to a tree.
Yeah.
And I think that's when they realized what they were trying to do is not going to work. So that's when it kind of does another scene transition, and all the trees have little things
boom,
wrapped
boom,
around
like
them.
little bouncing things, something that they can catch the Shield back. I call it skipping puddles in a pond.
So yeah, they're bouncing the shield off a tree
and they're having a conversation
to each other.
Yeah.
And having a conversation in the
Awesome.
process. Right. And Sam tells Bucky, he's like, look, the legacy of the shield's complicated. And Bucky even said that, and this is where he tells Sam, he's like, Steve and I didn't know what it would mean for a black man to be handed the shield. He said, and Bucky apologized for everything. Like, basically apologized for being a dick.
Right.
Which he was. But I also still feel he was justified.
Right, justified. He's a justified asshole. He's a justified asshole.
He said everything happening with Walker is not Sam's fault. But the shield is the closest thing Bucky has to family. And when Sam retired, it made him feel like he had nothing left.
Right.
He said he questioned everything and then thought Steve's book would work for him. And that's when Sam says that he understands, but Steve's gone.
Is he though? I'm just kidding. Yeah, he's gone.
He says, and honestly, it doesn't matter what Steve thought.
Yeah.
He told Bucky that he has to stop looking to others to tell him who he is. And I feel like this is also him talking to himself.
Right.
Because he could also follow the same things that he's telling
from Isaiah.
Bucky.
Bro, Bucky, yeah.
Because Sam spent a lot of time with people telling him who he was.
Right.
As well. And then he asked Bucky, he's like, hey, are you still having the nightmares? And Bucky's like, well, yeah. It's, then Sam tells him, he's like, it's because you're not amending. Because Bucky even says, he's trying to amend
right, but he actually
situations. And he's like, but you're not amending, you're avenging.
You're right.
He says what he was doing what he was doing because he thought it would make him feel better.
Right.
And he went on to say, and it would bring closure, he says, but he has to make them feel better. Like, it's not about how Bucky feels, it's about how the people he helps feels.
Right.
He said, there's got to be at least one name in that book that probably needs closure, and Bucky's like, there's probably like 12.
Right, at least.
And Sam's like, well, start with one.
Start one. Yeah, start with one.
Then they do the whole Predator handshake.
Right,
That's what I always call it. That's the hand clap where your arms are...
Right, that little thing where you see the muscle grow. That muscle. Yeah, what's up?
Right. Bucky tells him to call him if Carly shows up.
Right.
And then they have this little joking thing back and forth where they pretend to not be friends.
Right.
We're like, we're just two guys,
right.
work together,
right.
partners, not partners.
Right, partners. We had a friend, well, that friend's also just two dudes. Like, okay, we just making this very awkward now. Like,
they're becoming friends.
Right.
I was so excited for this moment, though, because
yeah.
it's definitely something, especially leading into this last episode that's going to happen. They're going to need to be on the same page for sure.
Yeah, because some yeah.
At this point, Sam walks up with a bucket of paint to the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah tells him to stop because he's getting ready to paint over the names of their parents.
Because they were going to sell it. They were going to sell the boat. Well, he tried at least.
And she tells him to stop, says, we can't sell the boat.
And he said, that is the happiest.
Yeah, Sam's relieved as fuck. Because she thought he was going to lecture her. Right. And he's like, I am so relieved.
Right, because he was ready to go. He was ready to just let me go ahead and paint over the name. He was ready to black it out. I mean, like I said, it's been there since they were little. So right.
Yeah, he says they have to preserve the boat. Sam, and he said, it took me a while to realize this, but I can't win every fight.
Right.
He says, but this boat is our history, and we can't lose this fight.
Right. I mean, yeah.
Sam thought that Sarah thought that he was running away from everything.
Right.
Which is why he kept going off to fight battles. And really, it was Sam trying to make the people in his life proud of him.
Right.
And she's like, she never thought that he was running away. Honestly, she just missed him.
Yeah.
She said that, there's a fight out there and there's a fight here, and you're taking them both on. Yeah.
Because he still come back and still family. Yeah, he's, in the meanwhile, in the back of his mind, Carly's still doing God knows whatever the hell right now. But, that's those two type of battles he's doing. So, I commend Sam for trying to come back at least. trying to make something happen.
And then she tells Sam, like, don't let what he said convince you.
Right.
Of anything.
But that was pretty cool that she did say that, though. Because I was like, please don't.
And I feel like this is a point where I don't think he needed to hear that from her. I think he'd already made his decision.
Right, okay. Right.
Because he was very quick to respond with saying that, like, what is and this is something I fully agree with. He says, what would be the point of all the pain and sacrifice if he wasn't willing to stand and keep fighting?
Right.
And again, something that does eventually happen in the comics, which I'm sure we'll get into, not obviously in this specific series, but I'm sure we'll get into somewhere in the MCU, is a lot of what happens in the comics is Falcon getting very political.
Right.
And trying to fight for the rights of black people and other, people of color that also are being treated like trash, and which it's a very uplifting thing. And I'm personally glad to see them going in this direction, because I think real world situations can be, how am I trying to word it? It can inspire people.
Yeah.
Or movie things can inspire people to take action in the real world. And I feel like going down this road is going to inspire, especially kids.
Right, because,
to grow and want to do the right thing and try and progress society. Because we just keep taking 10 steps back.
That's why I like Spider-Man, because he's the little guy.
Right. And then we get the Falcon Captain America training montage.
Yeah, we did. I said training montage. Here we go. Push-ups, and more throwing.
A lot of running.
Yeah, a lot of running.
A lot of throwing. A lot of
I
doing.
thought he was gonna take his head off on one of them.
A lot of. Well, now here is the thing. There is some symbology going on in this training montage.
Uh-huh.
He had spent so long trying to duck and dodge the shield.
Right, he's literally right.
And the imagery of him actually ducking and the shield coming at his head and stuff, and it took him finally being brave enough to just reach up and grab it out of the sky.
Right.
And then that's when things were picking up in the training. Like, the imagery they used was so spot on.
Yeah, that little back front flip. Catch. Just like, okay.
You're talking about literal imagery. I'm talking about the symbols.
Right, the symbol. Yeah.
The symbology.
Yeah, symbology. Yeah.
Or symbolism.
Basically, that was good. That was wow.
But it was a fantastic training montage. And I love, again, how often Sam is referred to as Uncle Sam.
Yeah, they said Uncle Sam, little kids, and they're like, let's go run around, and they were running with him. I'm like, okay.
Well, trying to,
because yeah, he's
they weren't keeping up with him.
No, he's like a super soldier without the super soldier.
And then we transition to the next scene after the training montage is over, and it's Carly sitting on a bench. Batroc shows up.
Yep. Batroc shows up
with a case, drops it down beside Carly, opens it, and there's like a bunch of little bombs and things like this. And Batroc is like, I want to kill the Falcon.
Yeah. He's still messing with episode 1.
Carly pushes the buttons on her phone and is like, this is kind of an experiment. And honestly, Batroc was like, I don't care. I don't care about your cause.
Right.
I am only here to kill the Falcon.
Hey, yo, Batroc made it perfectly clear. He said, I don't give a shit about what you doing. I don't care.
So at this point, she explains, like, she does some things on her phone. All of a sudden, people all over the park start getting messages.
That whistle noise.
They all stand up and start walking around, swarming. She whistles, and they all start to gather around her. And she's like, we're going to stop the GRC vote, and tonight we go to battle.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to how many people got died. Like, she's at the point she's fed up. She's fed up right now.
There's a quick little scene where Torres and Falcon find out that New York is where their next location, their next target is, and that was a very quick little scene.
Right, he says, it's okay, Torres, I'll take it from here, because,
And then they show up, they pan over, and the next scene is they're in the GRC meeting room, debating, on the vote, and this vote is to secure the borders, to basically split everything back up the way it was. And there's a bunch of people that believe they're still not quite ready for that. They're still trying to get people in place to do things. There's some people that believe, hey,
it's time.
It's time. Go. And then all of a sudden, this guy walks over and whispers into the dude's ear, and he says the quote from...
was it like one...
Yeah, it says something that was like
one man, one following, or one follow or something.
What is it? What is it?
I'm trying to hold up.
I didn't write it down.
Oh, you didn't?
Oh no, yeah, I did. One war, one people.
Yeah, one war, people. Yeah. That's what they've been saying for this whole entire series. Like one war, one
which
people.
Which is very reminiscent of Hell Hydra.
Oh, yeah, Hell Hydra. Cut off one head, many follow. Yeah.
And then he scans his card on the machine.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden all the lights go off.
It just,
room fills up with red lights. The TV thing in the background starts to flicker.
Yep.
And then they transition to the last scene of the episode.
No, go ahead and put it down. No, go ahead.
Fuckers.
Go ahead, Nick, go ahead.
To Sam opening the case
ahead,
in a way that only he can see it. Like we don't know what it is.
I know I saw your expression. Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead. This is your last rant too. Yeah, 3 rants in one.
He breathes in heavy.
Like it's time.
And then the fucking episode ends. Now, I want you guys to know something. There is a post-credit scene. We'll get there in a minute.
Yeah.
I spent this entire last half of the episode, ever since the box showed up, going, you better not.
Open it. At least, wait.
You better end the episode with him wearing it. Because here's the problem. I don't mind cliffhangers.
Right.
But it doesn't always have to be a cliffhanger to piss you off. Like, you can leave it in a cliffhanger that makes you feel comfortable to where you can wait to the next week. And now I'm just like, y'all are a bunch of assholes.
He texted me too. He said, I screamed at my TV. I said, what?
Me and Kat.
I was like, what the hell happened?
Me and Kat screamed at the TV for the last 15 fucking minutes.
Man.
Now, as I usually do, I sat through the credits because I am a good Marvel watcher.
Hell yeah. I'm going to be a good Marvel watcher forever.
And
I die,
was finally fucking rewarded.
Yeah.
After an entire series of no post-credit scenes.
Right.
And this one was ironic.
Yeah.
This one is John working on making his own shield. Using his metals as inserts into the shield.
Right.
Which, for those of you that don't know, something the Marvel has done, if you guys remember when the MCU first started off, it was very much bad guys were very relevant, and the heroes moved their way up into being the top spot, and now the heroes are very relevant, and the villains are building their way up.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
So it's kind of a tug and war thing, and this actually was a very good, almost similar image to Iron Man building his Iron Man suit.
Yep. It's like he's building it from scratch.
And now John's building his shield.
From scratch.
His new shield.
Yeah.
He's about to become U.S. agent.
Yeah, I said, there's there. Now, that's my U.S. agent. That's the one I want to see. Yeah, because he's getting tired. And to be fair, yeah, because y'all took his Captain America strip away. Y'all you shouldn't be doing it. And he thought in his mind, even though we think it's fucked up, in his mind, he think he did the right thing. And the government's like, that was wrong. And he's like, what?
Right.
I thought I did a good job. Like, okay, bet. You take that. Okay. I'm gonna do me now. So I don't think John's gonna die, man. I mean, we'll get that for prediction, but I don't think he's.
He might not.
No, I think Carly may die, but nah.
So going into predictions,
I think Carly might die. Yeah, I think.
I don't think Carly's going to die.
You don't think so?
I mean, she might if the Power Broker wants her to. So the problem is,
if we don't see the Power Broker, I'm gonna be pissed. We better see the Power Broker.
I'm pretty sure. I'm still sure we've seen her.
Okay.
I still think it's Sharon.
Sharon. Okay.
She hired Bartok to kill Falcon.
Yeah. Okay.
And to get in with Carly.
Right. To at least know, what's going to Flag Smash.
At the very least, she's working for the Power Broker for sure.
Right.
Sharon is a twat. And then
because she's just doing too much.
We're gonna get a very weird end battle. That's going to be Bucky and Falcon.
Because John's coming. John, he's
versus John.
Yeah, he's coming. He's coming in hot, man.
Versus.
He gonna have a double black and white suit on and everything, man. He's coming in.
Versus the Flag Smashers. It's gonna be like a 3-way fight.
This is gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna be interesting, this fight. But I don't know. I see Carly doing some work, but I said then she dies because of a serious injury by John. I think John puts the serious hurt on her. I see John hurting her to the point where, John gets incapacitated to the point where he might die, but he'll still probably be still around, but I don't see Carly living out this episode, man. Because every time we keep hearing it, every single time, she's doing things. Or what's going to happen? Like, it's like, it's one of those things like a force. Like, you just know something bad's going to happen to Carly. I get this feeling like, I feel like I think something bad's going to happen. And you get this little big speech like, oh, how many of our people, you always see, and I see this in movies, I'm like, okay, we get this speech, and here we go. I don't see you living, girl. Like, when you get, it's like that little speech, like, well, how are we going to stand for this? I'm like, yeah, you're not going to make it past this episode. Like, or you're going to die of, like, a serious flesh wound or something. So, but that's one of my little situations of this last episode.
Some predictions I got.
Right, what you got?
First off, we all know 100% what Bucky did was he had the Wakandans make a Falcon Captain America outfit. You're not stupid. You could have just let him fucking wear it at the end.
I know he was.
As a matter of fact, you can Google Falcon Captain America and see what he looks like.
You can actually Google it.
Now, one of the things I do like is if Wakandans made it, that means it's going to be vibranium.
Vibranium, yeah. It's gonna be a little more tougher.
People aren't just gonna be able to rip it off.
Yeah, no. It can actually probably go through.
Well, the Wakandas probably can. We saw what they did to Bucky's arm.
Shut down. Like, oh, okay.
There's a fail-safe.
Fail-safe. So they could probably do it, but as far as like any normal person, he could probably go through a whole wall and he'll be fine. Actually, so it's built to last, pretty much.
I think we're gonna see obviously the three-way fight.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen.
One, if not two, things are gonna happen. Torres is going to show up as Falcon to help.
Yeah.
Because I think he's going to repair the wings.
Yeah, he's going to be like his own Falcon. Yeah, I can see Torres coming.
And I can see War Machine helping.
Yeah. Well, you said that could be a third party. Well, we said it's got to be a third party in there, too, as well.
There's going to have to be. There's going to be too much going on.
Oh, my God.
For Bucky and Sam to handle it alone.
It's going to be like an hour episode, too. I feel like this one's going to probably be like an hour episode also. It's going to be just them fighting this whole, in this GRC building.
Here's what I think is going to happen. I don't think Carly's going to die.
Okay.
I think Contessa is going to call in her favor when John's about to kill her. And I think Contessa's going to use the Flag Smashers to start up Hydra again and become Madam Hydra.
That will piss you off. That will piss you off.
Only because it makes sense.
It does make sense.
Now, if Carly does die, she's still going to take the Flag Smashers that are still alive under her wing.
They're going to be under her wing.
And so here's the thing. So they're either going to restart Hydra.
Super Soldier Hydras.
No. They're either going to restart Hydra or build that other group I was reading that she had joined, the Vipers or Venoms or whatever they are.
Yeah, okay.
It's going to be one of the two. I would still bank more on Hydra.
Because, just because.
Just because Marvel likes to piss me off.
Well, we talked about that in some news segments that they said that they want to bring back Hydra. They want to, but we don't.
Well, they could.
They could bring back. So, damn, this would be a way to do this would be a way to do it.
Right.
Because if she is Madam Hydra, that's it then. And that's what she is. And that will probably,
But that just makes sense because they'll be able to bring the whole Madam Hydra into it and get that going. And I think that's how it's going to end.
Damn, just like that.
And there's going to be post-credit scene, obviously, or scenes.
So you're saying the villain's going to,
I think we're going to see, in the post-credit scene, I think we're going to get to see Zemo break out of the raft.
Yeah, he's getting out, yeah.
Because I think they're going to set that up to go with, like, Armor Wars or Secret Wars or something.
Right.
Along those lines.
But how do you think you think somebody, obviously someone's going to come and help him, but, yeah.
Maybe. He's a smart man.
Oh, okay. You think he just might just find a way to just get out. Okay.
Because to be fair, he got out of the last prison by himself.
Pretty in a way. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, no, I guess Bucky technically did help him a little. He dropped off the note.
He gonna kill you. He's like, what?
But yeah, so those are like just my quick predictions. I think we're gonna end with also the government not being too thrilled that
what John?
That Sam.
Oh, and Sam. Well, yeah.
Is taking on the Captain America mantle.
Yeah, they may. Because remember, they have the name, but they like. He's like, fuck that. Like, I'm Captain America. That's who I am. So get over it.
We are gonna get to see a Shield v Shield fight, which is gonna be fantastic
with John and I like to see that.
I think that's gonna be better than the 2-on-1 fight we got earlier.
Yeah. I can see it now. I can't let you get out of my way. He just walking toward him. Get out of my way. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Let's go. Ding, ding, ding.
But yeah, I definitely feel like it's going to be a big episode fight wise. They're going to set up some other things that are going on.
Yeah, Marvel likes to do that. Like when it's like because like the final.
As a matter of fact,
some shit.
I'm almost going to bet him breaking out of the raft will be what the entire story of Wakanda is going to be based on, is hunting down Zemo.
So Zemo became his own villain.
Zemo's a villain.
I mean,
he didn't become his own villain.
He became his own villain. No, I mean, he became a villain in Wakanda. Like, I mean, that's... Yeah, I can see that. Well, like you said, like, the heroes are now the back burner. Now the villains are starting coming back. Which, that's interesting. That's interesting. And the villains are getting... And the heroes are starting to get hated now.
And we're going to find out who the power broker is.
We better find out. Or this whole series was for nothing.
How mad would you be if it was Contessa?
Probably a little bit. I'll probably be a little bit pissed. I wouldn't be like mad like how you probably screwed the TV about. I'll be pissed. I'll probably text you like a little.
I still kind of hope it's Kingpin.
I'll be happy for that. But if it's Contessa, I'll probably see like a little emoji, like a mad emoji, just like face.
Don't send things to me.
I'm gonna send you something like what is this? Why is this woman here? Please don't let her be the power broker.
No, don't text no shit like that to me.
Don't text no shit like
No, that's giving shit away. Ralph, I don't like spoilers.
I don't know, even though they spoiled everything. Even though the trailer spoiled everything.
That's Mortal Kombat. Yeah, so next week's gonna be interesting, guys.
He thinks Carla's gonna live.
We may do. We're not gonna have time to because you're not gonna have seen the movie yet. I said we could record like a special one-off Mortal Kombat reaction, but you got to go to the movie theaters to see it because you're.
You want me to see it with you?
You're too lame.
I got a lot of my parents.
You're too lame to watch it at home.
Oh God! Like just to get a Mortal Kombat reaction. You want me to? Let me think about it first. We got a whole week, right?
We'll go on that because I do think there'll be times it'll be fun to break off and talk about other movies that come out.
Okay.
But it'd be like we'd have to record 2 episodes in 1 week, which is fine with me. But I don't know. We'll see. Don't peg that one down.
Oh
yet.
Man, you gonna make me think for like the next 2 days. Like you make me think today and tomorrow. Be like, you can probably gonna be like, hey Ralph, you wanna watch this with me? I'm like, I'll be real like just like conflicted.
Well, here's the problem. You don't have HBO Max.
Yeah, I got HBO Max.
You'd have to watch it on your own.
But I'm still that guy that like to go to the theater.
You can still go to the theater, watch it twice. Watch it for free, and then go pay for it. Because I
like how you pointed that out. Like, watch for free. Then if you want to pay for it, that's you.
Because I'll tell you what, I like the idea of being able to watch it at free, and then be like, is it worth seeing in theaters? Because you know how many times I've gone to theaters and been like, man, this movie was just okay.
It was disappointment. Or just okay.
But anyways, now it's that time of the episode, Ralph. What is your rating for episode 5?
I gave
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I give it like a 7.5 out of 8.
Oh, you lowered it.
Yeah, I lowered it. It is okay.
You lowered it.
Yeah, I know. What about you?
Mine's a 7. It didn't move.
It didn't move?
It is still a 7.
Because, like I said, it has some good moments, but that fight scene confused the shit out of me.
I think...
And we should have saw him in this suit. We really should have. Like, instead of this, like, MacGuffin, and then... credits.
I have some problems with this episode, and again, I think a lot of them were failed expectations. Yeah, because with all the interviews and stuff people are doing, and then like the dude being like episode 5, we're gonna meet this character that I would love to see. Dude, yeah, I even heard him say we would love them to see them do something with Thor, and now it doesn't make sense.
Right, like there were so many rumors.
She's a nobody.
Yeah, she's a nobody. Like at one point, the guy who played John, he even said that there's a possibility that we could see Old Man Cap. Like he said, just stay tuned. Like he tweeted it out, like basically saying that like, it was like. But what I'm saying, like everything was like such a hype. It was like a hype thing up to this. We was like, okay, let's go. We were like, it was so ready. We came in here with high expectations, and really,
and
it was nothing. Actually,
some of them were self-placed too, because like we were so excited for the 3-way fight that was inevitably going to happen.
Like I was ready. I was so ready for it.
And then it ended up being just an okay fight. There was no epicness feel to it like it did in Civil War,
where it's like, oh, you killed my mom and dad, so I'm like, okay, here we go. This is why he's doing it. So, but this was more like, I need that shield. Oh, we're doing this.
And I'm not saying they did terrible. It just it didn't have the grandeur that I was expecting it to have.
Right.
And then
because the fight was okay, but yeah,
the weak ass character reveals that until we see
Weak
Black
ass.
Widow
We
is
said-
still going to mean nothing.
Yeah, because this is why they should. Because at first they were going to release Black Widow in January, but then they pushed it back again. So it's like, what are we doing with this character? Like, I don't like. Am I supposed to be? Oh, hi, yeah. Oh, okay. But since we don't know Black Widow or the whole movie or what this character is, I don't care.
Right.
I just don't care.
And then, yeah, the lack of like, the kind of shitty closing moments. That's you don't need to end like
they
that.
Like, oh, okay.
Even if you'd have just done a pan over and then shown the suit in the box.
Yeah, I would have been cool with that. So
I'd have been cool with that.
Like he smiles and and then it plays a Captain America theme song, and then boom, like there's the shield, or not sure, there's the thing, there's the suit.
Right.
But nope, he just credits.
And he didn't even really smile.
I thought he cracked a smile.
No, okay. He looked at it and was almost like, okay, I'm about to do this, because he was like,
oh yeah. It was like deep breath. My bad, throw a smile. But yeah, I would like to have seen like the suit at least once. You know, you want it on. I'd rather just like say pan it, just like, oh, it's in the box. There it is.
Yeah, like
but
I said, if they'd have just shown it in the box, I would have been cool with that. I'd been like, all right. But that's a good way to end it.
Right, but now it's like...
But now it's like, okay, now I'm going to have to wait a whole nother week to even just see the outfit of at least what it looks like.
Right, and that's... And you know there are going to be photos and stuff. Well, you said you probably Google it and probably find what he's wearing.
Well, I mean, no, you can Google and find out what it looks like in the comics.
Oh okay. I thought it was like...
No, there's no photos out of him actually wearing the outfit. Feige would fire a motherfucker.
Oh. Feige would fire... Just like, you're done. Like, who leaked this? It was Tim. That was third strike, bro. You gotta go. Tim, you gotta get the fuck out, bro.
But yeah, I give it a 7.
I give it an 8.
I feel like it was as epic as the episode before it was. Yeah. And as epic as I feel the next episode's going to be. Yeah. I feel like this is the calm before the storm.
Yeah. And that's why I said it's an 8, because I know, we just know something bad. This it's just one of them bad episodes. I mean, it's gonna be good, like, epicness, but one of these characters... And I know it's not going to be Falcon or Bucky, but I think either John going to die or Carly's going to die. That's what I see. I see one of them two are not going to come out of this episode. Because right now, like I said before, Carly doing this evil speech. This, how many people do we have to... I'm like, are we really doing this, Carly? Okay, let's go. I mean, we can do this, Carly, but I don't know how this is going to end for you, Carly. I don't know. And like I said, even Zemo, since the time they got him out, like... Carly's been unpredictable, and Are you willing to do what you have to do? And then we're gonna do it our way. I'm like, that's not an answer. Like, because Carly looked like she ready to kill everybody in that circle right now.
Right.
Everybody in that circle don't give a damn. She ready to kill everybody who was with the Borders or not with the Borders. She ready to put everybody in the dirt. That's why I said so. Let's get to that point now.
But yeah. This is the second coming of Hydra, y'all. I hope y'all are ready.
Carly, if Carly's with us or not with us, this is the... I like how he drinks that he say. It's like, here we go. This is it.
Next week might be the last episode of this podcast. I might give up on the MCU entirely. That won't happen.
No, it's gonna. I want y'all to look at this face. Everybody on YouTube, look at this expression. Keep that with you for next week, because this look he just gives. I'm gonna be laughing, but this look is priceless. It's surprisingly just because you already got wasted potential from this episode. That was really going to be wasted.
Shield versus Hydra's been done in the MCU.
We did it all the time. We did it every time.
It's boring now. I don't want to see it again. I really don't.
Shield's been taken over. You said it yourself. Like, oh my God, we did this already.
You know, and if they're going to cancel out the Netflix universe, hell, bring in the Hand. I am okay with the hand being a force. Like, come on.
Yeah, I would love to have... Can that be... Can she be connected to that? Like, I would love to actually see that, man. But like I said, keep that expression, fold arms, and head down. Like, yeah. So, yeah, that's all I got.
All right, guys. So, with that being said, that is the end of this episode. Thank you guys all for watching. Please be sure to check the description below to find all the places that our podcast is on. Please. If you're actually listening to our podcast somewhere else, thank you. You're awesome.
Yeah, you are awesome.
Share it. We still only have like 17 subs and like getting 3 watches on average per week. I'm pretty sure one of them is Ralph.
Yeah, it probably is me.
So please share it, man. If you guys have friends that are friends of Marvel. And like I said, we're going to be changing the format after this show's over, because I do feel like we're taking a lot of time just to break down every little piece. And I don't know. There's times I don't feel like it's as necessary as what we're doing.
This is a cool.
It's fun for us.
It's
though.
awesome. No, I find it fun because it's like
It's
I really
fun,
we get to vent. Oh yeah, should we talk about this
No.
stuff? Not yet.
That's next week.
Next week. Okay.
All
Next
right.
week.
So guys, with that being said, thank you all for watching. We love y'all, and we can't wait to pound and slash y'all. That sounds kinky.
That's just.
All right, guys.
Pound and
Excelsior.
slash. See you
Take it
later.
easy.
Pound and slash. Oh.